Hey everybody, how are y'all doing today? Even though it's just, hey Miss Fawn, how are you doing today? Hope you're doing all right and staying cool up there. It got to be pretty hot down here today. Sorry I didn't upload the previous 2 days. I've been working a lot and haven't exactly felt pretty good. Having to work out in that heat the last 2 days has took a lot out of me. So yeah, Miss Fawn, I was just working out in that heat's been pretty rough the last 2 days. That's the only reason I haven't really uploaded anything. Is I've mainly just been going to work and pretty much sleeping until the next day. And since I'm off this weekend, I'm like, well, I'll just go ahead and get a live go and get everybody caught up on everything. I finally did some grocery shopping today. Spent right at $160 and finally got me some Dr. Pepper, so I'm pretty happy. If some of y'all that's been following me for a while know, I am a big Dr. Pepper fan, and I probably spent at least a good $20-30 just getting Dr. Peppers. So I am pretty happy about that. So I ain't gonna complain too much. And it's been kind of crazy the last couple of days. Everybody's getting ready for the 4th of July. We today alone, I know we sold at least close to $5,000 worth of meat products and various, and then on top of that, at least another 7,000 in grills and all the accessories with it and charcoal and whatnot. Yeah, Miss Fawn, I'm happy I finally got some more now. I ain't so cranky with everybody. But yeah, we were selling out of meat products so quick that we ran out of back stock and actually had to order in 2 more trucks. And by the time I left at 4 o'clock, I think we may have had enough to make it another hour or 2 before we sold out. But I do know they had another truck coming in, bringing in more meat. This is the first time that I can remember in the 24 years that I've been there that we have sold out meats that quick. But I guess everybody's going to go all out on celebrating the 4th of July. And on top of that, I ain't really going to... I can't blame you, Miss Fawn. Sweet tea is pretty good. I almost made me some earlier, but I kind of changed my mind on it since I got Dr. Pepper now. Made me a pretty good supper tonight. I had that hamburger meat that had the blue Swiss cheese in it, or blue cheese in it, with some cream potatoes. So I'm pretty happy. That was that's the most I've ate the last couple of days. And then on the way back home, well, I decided to take a little bit of a shortcut, or at least the guy that I was riding with decided to take a little shortcut and ended up seeing like 8 deer and 12 turkey on the way back home. So I was pretty happy to get to see that. We stopped at this one field and checked out the corner, and it's not quite ready yet for some of us to make our grabbing a couple and going home with it. I have it a few times. It's pretty good. If I don't have regular sweet tea, I jump in and get it, and it's pretty good. It's one of my backup teas or drinks I like to get. And if you ain't never tried it, lemon sweet tea is pretty good. I haven't drunk it very much, but what few times I've had it is pretty good. In the process of making it, you put in at least two chopped up lemons, and let it soak into it as it's making, and it turns out real good. Or at least that's how I've seen people around here make it. And the only other odd combination of sweet tea I've seen made is I've seen somebody make sweet tea out of moonshine, which I don't like. I don't recommend trying because not only do you get drunk pretty quick, or you get drunk pretty quick off of it. I like lemon and lime, even though I don't drink lime or anything that has lime in it, other than maybe Sprite or 7 Up. And I hadn't drunk one of those in a long time. It's probably been a couple of years since I've had either one of them. But I'm thinking about this coming up forth, at least doing some grilling out. If I can figure out what in the world I ever did with my grill. I hadn't found it. Hadn't seen it since 3-4 months ago. I ain't got much longer to go, so I'm kind of hoping I find it and get it going. And hey, to the other person that's in here with us, if you want to jump in, get some conversations going, you're more than welcome. Or if you want to hear me and Fawn talk back and forth, that's all right. Just glad you're here with us. Coconut's all right. Now, I like those Almond Joys. They're pretty good. But those little snowballs got those pink coconut shavings on them. I absolutely hate it because the taste on it's inconsistent. But if you can get me a bag full of Almond Joys, now I'm pretty happy. But here lately, I've started eating a whole lot of yogurt. Not that I'm having digestive problems. That's the one thing I can honestly say I have never had anything wrong with as far as the problems popped up other than one time. This was back in 2007. I got constipated real bad. And even taking laxatives to help with it to see if that'd do anything. I'd go for a couple of hours and be back to constipated again. And it got to the point that I was bleeding out in areas I shouldn't be bleeding anyway, but ended up going to hospital and then had a colonoscopy done and found out I had a couple of polyps in my colon that was causing problems. Yeah, yogurt's pretty good. I like to get that yogurt that's got the different flavors like blueberry, orange sherbet, and stuff like that. I just can't eat plain yogurt. It's too boring for me. And then Wednesday night, I did go to church because we have an Addicts for Christ meeting every Wednesday night at our church. And the lady that spoke there that night was the same lady that her and her husband ran that haunted house I worked at from the end of September to the 1st of November. And it was a pretty good testimony to hear. If y'all ain't never been to an Addicts for Christ meeting, I know it's mainly meant for addicts, but they are welcome. They do welcome in regular people to go to them. And to hear some of them's testimony is pretty awesome. It's well worth going to. And they have pretty good singing. They have some eating that's going on. And like I say, it's well worth it just to go hear their testimony, how they grew up, how they got started in their addiction, how they overcame it, and how they're helping people with their addictions and all that, or at least trying to help them get out of it. And pudding's pretty good. I like to make that homemade Bailey's chocolate cream pie. That's pretty good. That's more of a Irish sweet, but since our family's got some Irish in us, we make it at least a couple of times a year, and it's pretty good. And it's one of those you don't want to eat and have to go somewhere because the Baileys will give you a little bit of a buzz. Or at least it did most of us, but then again, we kind of put too much Baileys in it. And that lady, her name's Jerry, she gave a good testimony how she spent 20 years of her life battling addiction, got over it, and was I don't know who is Parasail Solo. I don't know who that is. If he's one of those fakers that fakes them ghost hunts, I don't know who he is. But she had a good testimony on being addicted to drugs for 20 years and finally got clean and sober and able to. Well, her kids are grown now. They're both in their mid 20s and have kids of their own. But she's able to have a relationship with them and married the guy that runs the haunted house and everything. So that was nice to see. And me and her kind of got caught up on everything because I hadn't seen them in a while. Because since there's a good chance we're not doing a haunted house this year, we ain't been having as many meetings and getting-togethers and everything. So it was a good time catching up with her. And even though this year I'm not going to be unless something happens, they can find them a place to open up a haunted house or haunted trail or whatever, or haunted maze. I'll be working for a haunted house in Rainsville. And I know Vanna is the only one that's, as far as my subscribers go, is the only one that's close to me to be able to make it. I may do take some short videos of it when I can to show y'all what's going on. But I know he probably got mad that Bayou exposed some people that he liked watching as being a fake and everything, or no telling what he got butt hurt over. Because I've been watching Bayou for probably 7 years now. I was probably some of the first couple of people that subscribed to him and watched him and interacted with him when he first got started. Because I think I was, I'm having some Dr. Pepper myself, Miss Fawn. But yeah, I've been subscribed to Bayou since pretty much the start. And even though there's been a few times I didn't show up for live streams or get on there and talk or whatever, I pretty much watched everything you put out. But yeah, that iced coffee, that'll keep you awake for a while. Yeah, it says maybe he'll grow up and come back and get back in good with everybody. It's a fun little community over there. But yeah, I know I've talked about working in that haunted house in here before, but some of the people that may not have watched it, they're going to watch this as it's live now or watch it on replay. It was the Bedlam where this was at, and the theme for it this year was an insane asylum. I've never noticed Bayou faking, and even on the ghost hunt I went with him, there was no faking the stuff we caught. Which I know when it comes to videos like that, everybody's got their own perspective on which way they want to believe. And I respect that. I ain't going to argue with people over it. But that time I went with him down there to the Union Hill Cemetery, there was no faking to it, because it was me, my dad, Bayou, and his son. That was it. There was no hidden devices. There was, because I seen him as he unloaded everything, getting everything set up for it, and I helped him take everything down. Which the only thing where he really had was the camera and some flashlights and a recording device. And we could put up a couple little spotlights to help illuminate the area a little bit better. But there was no faking. He even let me look inside of his vehicle just to prove that he wasn't faking everything. It wasn't faking anything. So yeah, I don't know where he got that Bayou's faking. Well, I'm glad you stayed, Miss Fawn. I can't speak for Bayou or anything, but I enjoy having you around. You're one of the constants that I have in my comment section and lives, and I thank you for that because I highly enjoy seeing you show up and reading what you got to say and all. Because up before you subscribed, I wasn't really getting no comments and everything. They started getting a little bit better than what they was and everything, but like I say, I thank you for being here, and I can't, like I said, I can't speak for Bayou and everything, which I'm sure he feels the same way and everything, but that meant the haunted house I worked at, the Bellum. It was this year. Last year's theme was the mental asylum, and the character I played, I wore overalls, and the main reason I put on overalls because even though I wear loose fitting clothing that's pretty good in length and size. And even though I wear a shirt and under my shirt tucked into my pants and I wear a belt and everything, I am subconscious about my pants riding down, my shirt coming up, somebody might see my butt crack or whatever. Even though nobody really does, because like I say, my shirts are long enough, I ain't got to worry about it. But I do get subconscious about it. And that night I knew I'd be stooping down and crawling on my knees and everything. So I wore a pair of overalls and it wasn't exactly, it was a hockey mask painted up into the theme of the Call of Duty video game. If you ain't never seen it, it'd be kind of hard to explain. Well, that wasn't no reason for him to get all butthurt over. Some people just have a thin skin and look for some of the dumbest of reasons to get mad. You just have to overlook them and go on with it and let them just get butthurt and complain. They'll just have to get over it. But and each of us was responsible for coming up with what we was going to do. Most of the people that had been doing that, been doing it for years. I'm the same way. I don't put up with that drama and BS getting all butthurt over nothing. And I don't blame you on that, Miss Fawn. You're better off without them. But I subscribed to quite a few of them. Most of them were reaction. As far as ghost hunting reaction channels go, I subscribed to Bayou. Then there's that other one whose name slips my mind right now. That is up in Boston. I subscribe to. I ain't never heard of him there, Fawn, but from what I've heard, I don't want to hear of him. But I'm also subscribed to that one. I can't remember his name to save my life. I always call him that goth guy because he looks like it. Because if you just see what he looks like a goth guy. And if he end up watching this, hey, I'm sorry, I forgot your name. I'm better at remembering faces than I am names. And then I'm also, Noah's his name. For whatever reason, I can't remember that name. I'm getting old. And then I'm another paranormal reaction channel I'm subscribed to is the Side Eye Guy, and he's from Britain. He's pretty funny. He's a lot like the Shape. He adds a little bit of comedy into his reactions, and he points out a lot of the fakery. And I'm also subscribed to Beardo is Weirdo. And I know him and Bayou's got a little bit of a beef going on, and they kind of just don't like. Yeah, I figure it'll be a while before he comes back. I think sometime next month he's supposed to come back, if I understood him right. And I know Beardo is Weirdo, and Bayou kind of have a beef with each other right now. But I am subscribed to him. And his humor is kind of dry, but I enjoy his videos. And he knows I'm subscribed to Bayou, but I told him, I'm staying out of the drama. And I told him, hey, I enjoy both of y'all's reactions, and he's never said anything negative to me about also being a fan of Bayou. And then, of course, I watched The Shape. I'm sure everybody's heard of The Shape. He's pretty funny, and that's about the only ones I really watch as far as reaction channels go to the paranormal. But yeah, Beardo, he's not that bad. I get he ain't for everybody as far as watching that goes, and he does ruffle a little feathers, but I get entertainment out of him and everything. I've always been one of those when it comes to YouTube that not everybody's going to like the same people, and I'm okay with that and everything. Just don't try to I've always been one of those. I don't try to force people to like the same people I like, and I expect them not to force me to like the people that they may like and I don't. And The Shape, I can see where you're coming from on The Shape. He's kind of hit or miss on it, but I enjoy his content though. And if you ain't never watched The Side Eye Guy, he's pretty hilarious, and I highly recommend going to watch him. But since I was, even though I'd done a few haunted mazes and trails before I joined up with Bedlam, I never done a haunted house, and I was kind of new to that group, which they treated me and my friend really well and talked to us and welcomed us to the group, and we all got along, became a pretty good little old family, and and everything. And the character I was playing was a combination of the early years of Michael Myers. If you ain't never watched Rob Zombie's version of Halloween, you'll have no idea what I'm talking about. But it was a combination of the early years of Michael Myers and Ghost from the Call of Duty games. One of the silent types, but also can go into a rage. Now, maybe he'll do one here soon. I gave him a recommendation for the Paranormal Twins, and I completely forgot that he's done a few videos on them, and I even commented on one of those videos. So, there's some things I have a short memory span on, some I don't. But back to the character I was playing at the Bedlam. The first week, my character was addicted to feet, had a feet fetish, and his people would walk. Now, part of the rules is that we had a lot of them have the similar rules. There's going to be some people that don't want to be touched. And we completely understand that, and we respect their wishes. We don't touch them. We mainly, as far as if we're going to grab one of them, we try to get it to where it's like the arms, maybe the lower part of the leg, their head, and their back. We try to keep away from the private areas because that could lead to a lot of problems. And if they don't want to be touched, hey, we don't touch them. We respect their wishes. There's some that don't mind getting touched as long as you don't go overboard with it. And then there's some that come through that they're all right, and they're fine with the idea of you just grabbing them and just ragdolling them, and they get pure enjoyment out of seeing them. I'm sure there's going to be some that get mad over it, but they'll have to get over it. Because if he's faking, he needs to be called out on it, and people need to open their eyes to it and to see that because it's rare that you find somebody that's legitimate in the ghost hunting community. I know Beardo's legitimate, Side Eye Guy's legitimate, Bayou's legitimate, and Noah's legitimate. I've never uploaded a video on it, but I have been in one paranormal hunting video. So I guess I can technically say I'm legitimate in it, even though I'll never upload one because of the fakers. But if y'all ever get to the point y'all want to start seeing some of my ghost hunting videos, I'll start uploading them some, see how the reaction is to it. But there's some people on them ghost hunting that come through there, they actually get pure enjoyment out of it for being manhandled. But anyway, my character had a foot fetish. Maybe he won't fawn. I'm sure there'll be some people to come by your side and take up for you, and hopefully they'll get him to shut up and just leave you alone and everything. He'll just have to get over it. I'm on your side, Miss Fawn, and if he starts acting up being an idiot, I'll see what I can do to get him to. I ain't gonna do nothing illegal. Just tell him just to get over being butthurt for being called out for being fake. But for the first week I was part of the Bell, my character had a foot fetish, and as people would come through, I would hide in various spots in the area. Because what it was, I was in that area, and me and the girl that was next to me, her character is one of those. She's pretty flexible because she does gymnastics. So the character she kind of incorporated was the ring, where she's crawling in different positions, bends over backwards, and does that spider walk. And she wanted me to help people get moving along there and feel like they're trapped. And I'd kind of stand in the hallway. I'm pretty, I can't speak for them two, but I'm on your side. With the three of us plus Noah, I'm sure he ain't going to bother you too much. But it was pretty fun seeing the people try to run the other way, and I'm standing there with a shovel in my hand. But yeah, I'd hide in various spots, and I would grab at their feet and grab their ankles, and hey, that's some of the sexiest feet I ever seen. I'm going to take it with me and add it to my collection. And that'd get them screaming and running on and off to the next room. And we'd have at least maybe a 5-minute gap between people coming in. So I had enough time to know that I could chase them down the hallway and be behind them and get them into where she was at. And it was pretty fun. And then as they was running away, I started screaming, "Wash your feet next time. I don't like the feet that I collect to be stinky and dirty." And then the next week, he had a hair fetish. And it was pretty much, now I didn't yank on their hair to make it feel like I was trying to pull it out. I just kind of put my hand on their head like that and kind of just barely grasp on and say, "That's some of the prettiest and softest hair I ever seen. I want to take it." And then after that, it was kind of a combination between switching between them two. And for the last week, I went all out and just had where I wanted to start collecting eyes. And that really got people going through there. But it kind of sucks that he wasn't able to get that building back again. But it was going to cost him something like $50,000 to get it up to code to where we could keep it open. And we was never going to make that kind of money because each performer there was making something like $50 a day, and we was working from 6 in the evening till about midnight or 1 a.m. And even though we was making good money, we wasn't going to make no $50,000. And some of the other people that, even though there were car competitions, some of the others that ran other haunted mazes and houses and all said that if we wanted to join some of them, that they would find a place to put us so we could continue doing what we love to do. Well, people from Pennsylvania are kind of weird anyway, Miss Foss. So you got to kind of overlook them. I ain't never met anybody from Pennsylvania that was normal anyway. And, but yeah, needless to say, if you ain't never worked for a haunted house, I'd recommend it. But he probably does. Like, I'll have to go check him out and see what I think. Now, if you think he does, I'm pretty sure he does. You've watched enough enough of the ghost hunting reactions to be able to pick it. It's not hard to pick it out if you know what you're looking for. Sounds like he's trying to copy the shape on wearing a mask. But that was like Bayou the other day made a video on Jody Dean. Or at least I think that was him. It was one of those big fakers that goes overboard anyway. I left a comment saying, does he... I went on his video. I was like, is his content entertaining? And then the answer I put like, well, I do get a chuckle out of it. Does he fake his ghost hunts? Yes, he does. He's a big time faker, and never have any respect for him. But yeah, Miss Fun, I don't know if I'll do it tonight. I'll get off of here. But I know here in the next coming days, well, like I said, I'm off work till Monday. So I'll give him a little once over and see what I think. I mean, I've been ghost hunting for a while and seen enough of the fakers that I could probably, if he's faking, I could probably pick it out. That's why I quit watching there's that one person that slapped him. Now, I used to love his videos, but it got to the point where most of the videos he was promoting and coming across were obvious fakes. And he would get mad at people and block them and even go off on them in the comment section for him promoting. They were promoting fake ghost videos and even fake ghost hunters. And he came after me one time because I got on a video. It was, he seems like a weird little guy and everything. He probably does fake since his brother does work at a hospital or owns one, whichever it is. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does fake. Because even though hospitals are right up there next to places where battles and cemeteries are, as far as some of the most haunted places in the world. But I wouldn't be surprised also. It's easy to fake, so I wouldn't be surprised. But I can't even remember what I was talking about now. Yeah, anyway, I'll check him out. See what I think. But But yeah, if you get a chance to support the people who pretty much copying the shape 100%, that ain't surprising. Not surprising at all on that. So he can't even be original on what he looks like and everything, or what he tries to come across. Some people have no originality whatsoever. Well, looks like it's going to be the three of us tonight, so it's been a pretty alright live stream so far. I'm sure Vanna's out and about doing something tonight. No telling where she's at. And also, if y'all ever get a chance to, if y'all have the Addicts for Christ meetings close to where y'all at, if you don't want to go to service, at least, support. You ain't got to give money to them or nothing. Just give them some words of encouragement, because I know what it's like to get addicted to something and have to get over it. And it's a hard road to take. Like I said, it was fine. I'll have to give him a check out and see what I think. And, and for that Muslim guy that commented on one of my earlier videos, I think it was one of the earlier ones this year, or it might have been last year. If you're still around and watching my videos, hit me up in my comment section. I would love to have a talk with you. And if you was up for it, and depending on where you live, I wouldn't mind having have you in one of my live streams too, if you was willing to. If you don't live close to where I live, I think I have the option to where you can hop into my live stream and they kind of do a split screen. And I wouldn't mind doing a live stream with you and having a conversation. Seems if you and Gabriel don't like him, seems like that there might be just something going on with him. Probably does fake. But back to the Muslim guy, I wouldn't mind doing a live stream, kind of having like an interview type. I wouldn't mind getting to know more about your faith and everything, and get more of an understanding of it. Even though I'm a Christian and everything, I don't look down my nose at other faiths and everything out there. And I do believe everybody has the right to believe how they want to. But I've always been curious about that religion. And if you was up for it, even if you didn't want to do a live stream, maybe I could get you on the phone, do an interview like that, and just take some notes and make a video on it. Because like I said, I think that'd be something to make a video out of. And I'm sure there's people that are subscribed to me that be kind of curious about it too. And like I said, it's something I've been curious about. I'd like to know more of it and get more of an understanding of it. So if you're still around, just hit me up and we'll get the ball on it. Yeah, Miss Fawn, I want you to stick around. Like I say, I can't speak for Bayou or Gabriel, but I highly enjoy having you around. And you're one of the few people that, nothing personal against the rest of my subscribers, but like I said, you and Van and a couple of others are one of the few constants I enjoy having around. But I do understand people that come through and will support me, giving me a view and a like, and don't really want to do a comment, which I understand that, and I'm thankful for every subscriber I got and every view I get. And like I said, if I don't get no bigger than what I am, I'm just blessed to have made it as far as I have. But yeah, Miss Fawn, just don't let one idiot or, coming across idiots make you want to leave. Just do like I do. Take it one day at a time and smile and wave at them and go on about your day. That's all you can. Because I learned through working at Walmart, you just can't let stupid people ruin your day or ruin a good thing because they will. So, Miss Fawn, just look on the bright side and keep doing what you're doing. That's what I usually do. Finally got to eat out for the first time in a while today. For lunch, me and a couple of people from work went to Jack's and ate. And I always get the number one, which is a Big Jack combo, which is my favorite to get from Jack's. And I remember what else I was going to talk to y'all about. I was going to make a video on it. That's all you can do, Miss Fawn. That's all he really deserves. Just brush him off and walk away. But a couple of years ago, I can't remember if I was off that day or it was one of those days that, because I was working the evening time at this point. Like I said, I can't remember if I was off work that day or if it was one of those days me and Dad was doing some running around before I went to work. But we stopped by McDonald's to get us something to eat because we was both pretty hungry. Neither one of us had breakfast that morning. And we was getting pretty hungry. And I've always been a friend of mine that I used to, Miss Fun, I ain't got no problem with it. I enjoy the live streams with me and you. And the last couple we had was pretty good with numerous people showing up. But like I say, I expect more to show up in time. And, it starts growing and getting bigger and whatever. It's just going to take its time. But anyway, a friend that I had back from 2011 to about 2015, which most of the time I really didn't get ice in my drinks when I went to the restaurant. But he pointed out, after a while ice starts to water down your drink, it loses the flavor, and I've been noticing it, and I started doing like he did, quit putting ice in my drinks. And anyway, fast forward a couple of years ago. Yeah, maybe one of these days he'll do another live stream. I don't know if he's just got something keeping him from it, but maybe here soon he will. But we went by McDonald's, and every other restaurant I've been to, if you tell them, you don't want no ice, they've never said nothing negative about it. It's like, all right. And, if you went through the drive-thru, if you got one of those that you sit down. But, they've never had a problem with me not getting no ice. And used to, McDonald's didn't have a problem with it. And for whatever reason, we went through the drive-through that day, and for whatever reason, they started charging 50 cents for people that get no ice in their drinks, and it's the dumbest thing I ever heard of. And I'm one of those, I don't like arguments. I'll just say what I got to say and go on about it. I don't really care what you got to say about it. I just say what I got to say, want to get the argument over with and go on about my day. Well, when she said they was charging 50 cents for me not getting ice in my drink, the Holcomb side of me came out. I was like, why are you charging 50 cents for not getting water in, or not getting ice in there. She's like, well, you're getting more of a drink instead of it being a 25% ice and 75% drink. I was like, well, that's still stupid. And that's just another way to get more money off of people for stuff that don't make no sense. Oh my gosh, TV is who he was talking about. I never could stand him either. And what's pretty funny, him and for years, Bayou's been telling people they're fake. Nobody, or there was a few that believed him, but not many. And there was a pretty good controversy going on where people from their side was stalking Bayou and sending threats and all. And I don't know what changed. I don't know if it was the fact that more reaction channels started popping up, pointing out they're faker or whatever, but oh my gosh, TV and a couple of others did a live stream together and came out and said, hey, we fake our videos. And then there was some that started putting on the front of their and their intro, for entertainment purposes only. And people started believing Bayou more over and started apologizing, even though some of it was too little too late. But yeah, they still make videos, and they still get a lot. They still have a lot of subscribers. They did lose a few thousand, but not enough that it would hurt their views or how much money they made in the long run. But now the ones that they tricked into believing them was the ones that left. But a lot of them stayed because they said they found them entertaining, which, hey, I don't care if you enjoy them, more power to you, but they're still making a mockery of the paranormal investigation side of the world. But yeah, I sat there and argued with that lady at McDonald's for man. It finally got to the point. It's like, just give us other order. I'll just pay the extra for it. I want to get them, and I have yet to ever eat at another McDonald's since then. And that was about 6-7 years ago. I don't know who Bad to the Bone Paranormal is, but that's kind of stupid considering thinking he fakes when they ain't got no proof he does. We got a little bit of rain yesterday, or I wouldn't exactly call it a rain. Kind of like a heavy sprinkle. And then Wednesday night, yeah, it was Wednesday night. We had 2 different rainstorms that came through. The first one lasted for almost 5 minutes, and the next one lasted for about 10 minutes. And that one yesterday lasted maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and it was done. We pretty much got enough in to wet the ground, and that was it. But at least 95% of our state's in a drought. In the northeast corner where I live at, we're in a pretty serious high-end drought. And with this heat dome being over, it's just not helping anything. So if something don't change, it's going to get pretty rough for the farmers around here. And a lot of the ponds around here are starting to dry up. So it's not looking good. I'm hoping, I don't want nothing severe, but I'm hoping we can get some pretty good rain to come in. But yeah, I don't know who Bad to the Bone Paranormal is, Miss Fawn. I'll have to look him up too. Sorry, I had to get me something to drink there. Well, thank you, Miss Fawn. I try to make them entertaining, even though it's just everyday life, basically just stuff at work or stuff that's went on in my life and everything. I hope you enjoy it and everything. Yeah, I don't know who she is, Miss Fawn. I'll just have to check her out and everything, see what I think. Even though this is a short live stream, Miss Fawn, I think I'm going to get off here and get me some rest and everything, and I may end up going to bed early tonight. But have you a good resty evening, Miss Fawn, and I may do another live stream either tomorrow or Sunday. I ain't made my mind up yet. But I hope you have a good resty evening. And for those that watch this on replay, I hope y'all have a good weekend. And I had some fun tonight too, Miss Fawn. Wish there could have been some more people, but it was still entertaining anyway. But anyway, y'all have a good rest of y'all's evening.